All right. Thank you, Matt. So we're going to pick up where we left off before the break with Gloria and Gloria's story. Again, if you're just tuning in, Gloria is someone that lives here locally in Bell County, and she got some letters from the IRS saying, "Hey, Gloria, where's your tax return from last year? We didn't get it, and would you like to file it, please? Because we're looking for it." So Gloria heard this show and she called me. And if you would like to call me, I'm at 737-234-0196. That's 737-234-0196. You're going to go to my voicemail, but that's okay. Leave me a message and I promise I will call you back. So that's what Gloria did. She called me. And we talked a little bit about her situation, her letters from the IRS, and we puzzled out that she did not get the reject notice, or she did not check to find the acceptance or reject email waiting for her in her email box after she transmitted her tax return to the IRS last year. She got a couple letters from the IRS. Fast forward, she's calling me, and I say, "Hey, Gloria, go check your inbox in your email and check your spam or your junk folder for about the time that you sent your tax return to the IRS last year. There's going to be an email there for you. It's required." So sure enough, she goes and starts looking, and she finds one letter and she finds another, and there it was. I think letter number 3 or email number 3, "Your return has been rejected." Boom. And we talked about what was in the email. She made some mistake. I don't remember what it was at the time when we spoke, but it was something very simple to fix at the time. But because she didn't see that reject email, the time to correct it had passed.
Interesting how if she sent her email,
it's going to go to her junk mail because, as Bill was pointing out, the third-party software that she's using doesn't recognize that as an approved sender, like a friend. So you need to be, once you hit transmit, you're not done. You need to wait 2 or 3 days to make sure you get that confirmation or reject email. And a lot of us, I filed my tax return, boom, I'm done. So we don't look for that email. And Gloria didn't. She's no different than many other Americans. So we talked about it and figured out what happened. Okay, now what is the path to resolution? Because the IRS doesn't have her tax return. So the very first thing I did was told her, "Gee, do you have a copy of your tax return? If so, print it out." And she did. I said, "Sign it and date it," because there's no signature on that e-filed tax return. You put in a little 5-digit code in lieu of your signature when you e-file it. So she printed it off. She signed it. I said, "Go ahead and use today's date. That's fine." Now the question is, did you owe or did you have a refund? Unfortunately, in her case, she owed tax to the IRS. So then it becomes an issue of, well, can you pay in full or can you make a partial payment? Do you have any money to pay the IRS? In her case, she did. She could pay in full, which was great. So I told her to go to irs.gov. That's the landing page. Click on Make a Payment. And Make a Payment opens up another page, and that gives you the opportunity to make a direct debit out of your bank account, which is free. There's no charge. Or she could use a credit card or a debit card. And when you do that, a third-party vendor is behind the debit and credit card charges. They're approved by the IRS, and they're going to charge you 2, 3, 4% for their fee. They're charging that 2 to 3% of the total that you are sending to the IRS. They've been vetted by the IRS, these vendors, so you're good. Fortunately, Gloria had the money to pay in full, which was great. So I suggested use the make a debit payment, make a bank an ACH payment, a draft payment out of your bank account. So I walked her through those steps, and you put in some verifying information about your name, information off your last filed tax return from the IRS. They want to make sure it's you, which is the proper thing to do. So she filled all that out, scrolled through the pages, put in her payment, put in her bank information, routing and account number, verified everything again, and she clicked, make the payment, and it pays instantly. Boom. The money is off to the IRS. So then I told her, go get the receipt showing you just paid in full. Print that off. The receipt was sent to her email. So she printed that off too. So now she's got her tax return that's been signed. She's got her payment information that she made. She's paid in full. You need to send this information along with a letter, short little note to the IRS. Dear IRS, enclosed, please find a copy of my, 2021 or 2019, whatever tax year it is, my 2019 tax return. I attempted to file on X date. And what you're going to do is print off the email that shows your return was rejected. Take a highlighter, highlight the date. That's a date stamp. It shows the IRS you were trying to be compliant and file on time and, be a good, tax-paying citizen. So print that off, highlight the date, and include that information. It says, I attempted to file on X date. My return was rejected and I did not know it. Here is a signed copy. Here is a receipt for the payment I just made towards the balance due. If you can pay in full, tell the IRS I have paid in full. If you can't pay in full, tell the IRS I'm making this payment and my intention is to pay in full by X date. Or tell the IRS I signed up for a payment plan online. So you're telling the IRS you're making payments. You know something is due. And Gloria and I did talk about that. If the IRS had taken the money out, well, that's a whole other path. We're not going to talk about that today. We're talking about, the money didn't go out. She verified the IRS had not taken it. So you're telling the IRS this information in a note. And the last thing you'd like to say is, in your little note that you're writing, my intent was to file on time. Please abate any penalties I have been assigned. And the reason you're saying that is the IRS wants you to put in writing a request for penalty abatement. And she will have, I can almost guarantee, she will have a late filing penalty because she owed tax. And if she puts it in writing, if she front loads her request, it's much more likely that they will go ahead and remove the penalty, the person that gets her information on the other end.